Small changes to an app can make a big difference with user experience. Over the years, there have been examples of simple features that make a huge impact. In this video, we're going to look at 5 of those examples. App development is not cheap, but it's not the size of your budget that matters. It's how you use it. To illustrate this, we're going to look at 5 examples of relatively low cost and uncomplicated features that had a disproportionately large positive impact on user experience. After that, we'll link it all back to some app development theory and how you can implement what we see in these examples. In this case, the theory of minimum lovable product, or MLP. Number 1, Tinder's swipe feature. This example is legendary. It's without a doubt Tinder's most app-defining feature, and it wasn't even available until a year after the app was released to the market. Before that, users could still accept or reject potential matches, but it was done with conventional buttons where users would tap. Tinder's co-founder, Jonathan Badin, imagined sorting through a pile of cards into 3 piles. Yes, no, and maybe. Each of those piles represented the desires of Tinder's users, which needed to be translated into clear, simple UI UX. He wanted to emulate real-life human movements to make the user experience more intuitive. Tinder exploded in popularity, and every dating app has since included the swipe feature. Why it worked? It introduced physical user gestures that emulate real-life movements for a more immersive and intuitive experience. Number 2, Facebook's like button. Facebook describes liking as an easy way to let people know that you enjoy something without leaving a comment. What they really meant to say was, now we own the heart and the soul of every human on earth with an internet connection. For context, Facebook was founded in 2004 and just 1 year later already has 6 million users, all of whom were using Facebook to stay connected with people online. You could already leave comments on people's posts, but in 2009, Facebook introduced the ability to do that in just a split second with a really simple like. There's 2 sides to this, giving and receiving likes. Where giving likes is concerned, it takes something that users already want to do and make it effortless. The difference between very little effort and zero effort is huge. It's the difference between action and no action. Instead of people just scrolling past, they will now stop to give a like multiple times. That is an insane change in user behavior. On the receiving end of likes, the impact has been so strong that multiple sources have linked the like feature to social media addiction. People just can't get enough of it. We've all felt that ego boost when you get a certain number of likes. It's become a status symbol. Even the actual creator of the like button, Leah Pearlman, has publicly asked users to please stop obsessing over likes. By the way, I swear I'm not obsessed, but please like this video. I'm not saying addiction is a good thing. I'm looking at this as a mobile developer, and in that sense, I cannot deny that here is a simple feature that caused a huge amount of user interaction. Every social app now has its own version of the like button. Even Microsoft Outlook. Too bad, no middle finger yet. Why it worked? It provides users with a way to fulfill their desires effortlessly. A very honest way of looking at it is, how can I give people what they want while also letting them be as lazy as possible? Number 3, the infinite scroll. Before the infinite scroll, users would reach the bottom of a page and have to decide if they wanted to see more content or just close the app. After the infinite scroll was invented and introduced in 2006, apps decided for users. And what infinite scrolling decided to do was dig its own claws into users and never let go. There's no more bottom of the page. More content gets loaded when users stick around to finish it, only for the same process to repeat itself over and over. Asa Rashkin, the man who invented the infinite scroll, said he wanted to eliminate the need for users to make another choice. The idea took off, and now infinite scrolling is everywhere. Social media platforms, blogs, video streaming services, and of course, online marketplace. So the window shopping never ends. The results of this simple change are clear. Lower bounce rate for pages that use them. I read an interesting article. The reason infinite scrolling is so effective is because of something called unit bias. It's a compelling theory and I'll link to it in the description, but here's the gist of it. Human likes to finish things and we feel really unsatisfied if we don't. By auto-loading more content, users feel like they haven't finished the page, even though the app by design has made it practically impossible. The article linked to a 2005 study where a professor from Cornell University found he could get people to eat 73% more soup by giving them a bottomless bowl that refill the moment it got low. We think this shows that infinite scrolling, like basically every entry here, simply takes advantage of innate human nature. Why it works? It never lets users feel like they've reached the end of an action. Just as they're about to finish something, they automatically get a free refill which they are compelled to finish. Number 4, the unsend message feature. Before I elaborate on this, I just want to show a screenshot showing what people think of it. This one is really near and dear to my heart because it saved me a few times. By default, Gmail gives you 5 seconds to unsend an email, and it's all too common to realize you've sent out something that shouldn't have been sent after 6 seconds. It's always like that, isn't it? You look at the email and it's all good, and then 5 seconds are up and you look back, shit, you might as well hand in your resignation letter. Did you know that you can extend that unsend email feature on Gmail by up to 30 seconds? Just go to your Gmail settings, there's a drop-down menu right there. Change it to 30 seconds and enjoy. Having 30 seconds to look at my outgoing email has prevented me from making really dumb mistakes over the years, and everyone I've shared with has told me this. Damn, I wish I knew about that sooner. Why it worked? It acts as a failsafe that gives user a decent amount of time to undo important decisions. Things like purchases or transfers or anything to do with official documents. If you can save users from embarrassment or worse, we'll love you for it. Number 5, Google's front page. This last example is something that can easily fly under the radar. It's Google's search interface. I think it's the best example of adding lovability by taking away. Let's look at Google's first ever interface from 1997. This is before even my time. Taken in context, the UI is pretty decent for that era, but it's unremarkable. It looks like everything else. The most notable feature is the Search Stanford bar above Search the Web. This is because Google's founder are from Stanford and the search engine was also being used to index their university library. Just 1 year later in 1998, the web search option was moved to the top and Stanford to the bottom. We also see the I'm feeling lucky feature has been added. Why? Well, for one thing, it looks more aesthetic, but by having just one active search bar, the page could run faster, precisely what Google wanted to deliver. Fast forward to today, we have the interface everybody knows and loves. Looks-wise, it's simpler and cleaner than ever. And I don't think I need to cite numbers to convince anyone that Google is pretty popular. It's more used than ever, and there's a huge gap between Google and its nearest competitor. And this was accomplished, in part, by removing unnecessary features. By taking out the other special searches and focusing just on one, Google delivers a very straightforward package that they can optimize on the backend. Because there's no doubt that Google's backend has gotten a lot more complicated since 1997. But in terms of what users see and interact with, this is about as minimalist as you can get, and that's why people love it. Meanwhile, who the hell uses Yahoo anymore? When was the first time you've ever heard of it? But did you know that in the year of 2000, during the early days, Yahoo was the #1 search engine? This graph is famous. As Google's search page got simpler and faster, Yahoo's stayed just as busy. Google began to gain ground, then overtook Yahoo in 2007. Since then, it hasn't even been closed. Just for fun, I checked the difference in load times between them today. Why it worked? Secondary, less popular features were removed, leaving a single primary feature to shine. Now, to the theory part, the minimum lovable product theory. All these examples scream minimum lovable product, or MLP. MLP is normally thought of as an early stage in product development, and to be fair, it is. Take MVP or minimum viable product, the most basic version of an app that can be shown to real users to get viability feedback. An MVP must work, and an MLP takes it a step further. An MLP demands that not only does this early stage product work, but triggers a positive emotional response from those users. That's what the L in MLP means. it must be lovable. But at the same time, the M stands for minimum. What's the most time and cost-effective way to get from viable to lovable? That's a really long-winded way of saying minimum effort, maximum impact. Which brings us back to the 5 examples in this video. These features may not have been implemented in the early development, but they definitely streams minimum effort, maximum impact. In terms of overall budget, they don't cost that much. They are relatively simple features that require minimal resources. Despite that, they had a huge impact on user experience. The apps were all already successful, but with these additions, they dominated by becoming more lovable. Finally, they didn't turn a bad app into a decent app. They turned a good app into a great app. The lesson here is to never get complacent. Once we have a successful product, it's easy to think if it's not broken, don't fix it. Then it's just maintenance, maintenance, and maintenance. Facebook could have done that. They already have 6 million users. Instead, they went and implemented a tiny little thumbs up that changed the world. So if you already have an app, can you think of something small that can make your app a little bit more intuitive, more effortless, more seamless, or more protective of its users? If you are still in the early stages of design, even better. Can you think of some small thing that every other app developer will be scrambling to copy and reinvent for the next 50 years? Sit down with your mobile developer and brainstorm some ideas. To really understand what MLP or minimum lovable product is supposed to be, I recommend this video where I go over the topic in more detail and include some action steps for you to make your app more lovable, just like me. Please like, subscribe and share this video with anyone who's interested in app development. Then click on next video and see you there.